They will bypass the rational side of man and appeal instead to his subconscious, therefore making him actually love his slavery. This doesn't only concern the debauchery which takes place in this critically wounded society, but rather with the cultural mechanism as a whole, as it has been shaped over the course of the 20th and early 21st centuries. The whole concept of dating is a mockery of the sacred connection between two souls, which is built slowly, organically, and ultimately beautifully over the course of a lifetime. It's propped up as a quintessential aspect of every culture. It's normal. Naturally, we're seeing the results of a hedonistic society, though we were blinded by it for quite literally our entire lives. There will be a shift as we move into the future, toward an AI enforced prison planet where even this kind of discourse will be fundamentally rooted out of our mental capacity, or toward a complete catharsis and a return to our natural ways of life, which include a detox of over socialization, media consumption, in all its foul forms, the most damaging of which is the sexual kind. Natural institution of village communities scaled to population sizes, where children grow up with a few meaningful things to strive for instead of endless directions by which to degrade themselves. The return and evolution of masculinity, which has rid itself of its lustful chains, been forged in the flames of psychological torment from every direction, being women, society's will, and government/social engineers. Relationships cannot fulminate into unions when the very nature of society has been deformed, or more specifically, inverted. Many of us are beginning to understand that there is a clear spiritual antithesis to good and to order, which isn't tyrannical but expansive and insulates the vulnerable from psychological decay. Order restores itself on the spiritual level with our innate divine mechanism only through the source of all things. You've known this from birth. There is a whisper of a whole truth underneath all of the rot that has infected your mind at the hands of these parasites. This term divine mechanism is the tool used to bypass the ceaseless barrage of spiritual attacks that are manifested within us, always from the outside, even though we are made to believe that we are manifesting it ourselves. This mechanism, I believe, rests in the heart, the metaphysical switch in you, which was subjugated through trauma based heart control. It's the very link between you and the source of life. Why am I talking about this? This is a video about dating. Well, when man psychologically, spiritually, emotionally surrenders, no grandiosity or ritual, but a complete surrender to the source of all things, there is no other course than for that man to be endowed with expedience. That endowment contains the functions, unassailable qualities that man knows has been with him the whole time. He now knows that by gently returning his heart to the source, he will maintain that endowment. This is free will manifested into spiritual glory. Never even associated with idolatry in any way, because that man following one simple rule, which is that heart pivot, if you will, doesn't even possess the desire to allow himself to be corrupted. I've illustrated for you what happens to man through his own sort of spiritual redemption. In the funniest way possible, man, through his act of absolute bravery in the face of a world designed to imprison him, simply becomes that which attracts a woman who embodies those qualities he truly wanted in a wife, as opposed to those qualities that have been infested in his mind by all of the programming. Man searches and searches and searches for that feeling. He's known it his entire life. I can describe it to you as it has been shown to me, but the very core of this truth won't hit you until you have committed entirely to a complete disconnection from sexual media and debauchery, fasting, and semen retention. That last one being the fastest way to begin a sort of ascension, but really it's just rising from your knees. When you meet me, metaphorically speaking, probably by the comments, it would be awesome if we met in person, but when you meet me in this field of spiritual victory, if you will, where you have come to understand that what I'm saying is true, not because I am an authority, but because you know it to be true, I will have a smile on my face. I will simply be one of 1,000 smiles that you have produced. Good night.